Hey guys, good morning. What's going on? It's Chase, ever bullish, the stock Sherpa on YouTube, the first, best, and only portfolio manager to ever do it. And here we are on a Monday morning, mid-month of May. What's today? The 18th, right? No, 17th. Checking out the market this morning, as we always do. If you're new to the channel, what we're doing is we're creating stock screeners so we can see what the direction the market's going to take the rest of the week and form a hypothesis on when we're going to trade and if we're going to trade. I've told you in the last video about 5 positions that I'm super bullish on, that I think are good value. I'm also going to answer a question about for one of my original day one OGs. Shout out Steve. I got an answer for you on the FCX Freeport Moran trade that you're crushing. So let's get to it. That song was called Frankie's Gun. It's incredible. It's by the Felice Brothers, and it's a great storytelling song, just super dope. Alrighty, looking at the positions, the market hasn't figured out where it's going yet, and that's the point of this. So again, for the newbies here, this is the Momentum Stock Screener Monday. This is part of the process that I use to determine where the market's going to go, and then also what's trading on news. So most of what happens on Mondays is complete fog. It doesn't help. I have a very strict rule about rarely trading on Mondays. I also recommend to most of the people that follow this channel to not really trade on Mondays unless it's a gut feeling or unless you've got your own process. The main reason for that is institutions trade on Tuesday, big money comes in on Tuesday, and the money that is in the market on Mondays is dumb money, square money, whatever you want to call it. So I got my Fidelity Active Trader Pro up here, and looking at some of the positions that we're holding. Again, so I try to do this at around 9 o'clock. It's a little early right now. It's 8:40. I got some things to do today. And I just want to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow, because Tuesdays is trading day. Tuesdays is moving day. It's kind of like the Saturday of a golf tournament. They call that the moving day. This is when the leaderboard changes. Usually around 9 o'clock on Mondays is when the stock screeners that I use is the best one to use. These are going to go up on my website, everbullish.com. You can look at it anytime you want. I put these up every single week. And you got to watch the video to figure out what the hypothesis for the week is, and that's how I get you. So here we are. I got my Active Trader Pro up. If you're not using Active Trader Pro, get the net, get on it. This is the way to do it. I'm going to click up here. If you can't see, this doesn't allow me to zoom in on this screen yet. So I'm going to go to... where do I go? Charts, right? No, options and quotes and watch list here. Super easy. Go to filters. I got my filters up. This is the most active that comes up. If you click on technicals. All right, perfect. Super easy. Here we are. I recommend that you do this in your trading. This will make you thousands and thousands of dollars over your lifetime, and I'm giving it to you for free. Screenshot, filters. This is what's going to go right up on the website. DDS is the only stock that I recognize in there. So this is the uptrending stocks, by the way that I'm using them. And again, recommendation you do is uptrending stocks. The default is 3% up on 15% higher volume. Again, this makes us certain that these are trading on the news. Remember, there's no big money flows coming in or out right now. So this is something that's either a positive non-systematic event in the markets that's causing these 5 stocks here to go up. I also take note of how many numerically there are. There's 5 stocks, right? Now we're going to go to downtrending stock. Now there's 6, 7, 8. There's 8 stocks now. Let me just go ahead and do this one because it's closer to 9 o'clock. All right, so that just tells me that there's 8 stocks on the uptrend right now. And I only recognize one of them. When I recognize them, I put them on my watch list. If their RSI is below 30, I put them on my ready list. And I usually pull the trigger on Tuesday, if the trend continues. I hope that's making sense. If it's not, just shout at me in the comments or something. All right, so now we're going to go to downtrending stocks. Takes a second if you use Active Trader Pro. There's only one downtrending stock. That's very surprising to me based on where the market opened. I'm kind of surprised. I expected this to have a lot more. So this tells me the market's going to be up this week, straight up, plain and simple. There's one stock on here. I normally, in my personal trading, without making these videos, I wouldn't even screenshot this. I'd just write down that stock and short it immediately. If we got 5 stocks on the uptrend, there's 8 stocks on the uptrend now, and we have 1 on the downtrend. This thing's down 4% on 15% higher volume. If the RSI was somewhere around 70, which I bet you it is, I'd just go ahead and short it without even knowing anything about it. I'd look at the chart first, of course, but that's what it is. That's the easiest way to do this. I look at a lot of people on some of the sites that I follow trying to find out what investors want and need, and I'm shocked by how many go, hey, what's good? How do you pick good stocks? This is how you pick good stocks, plain and simple. Particularly for day trading. This isn't long term. And this is also for day trading, how you plain and simple figure out whether you're going to be bullish this market and trade a lot, or if you're just going to sit on the sidelines and go play golf. And the beautiful thing about my system here and day trading in general is just a lover of the markets, is you can enjoy your life and you don't have to sit behind a desk. And while I'm on that, I'm going to get a little pissy here. There's a lot of folks that are commenting about the amount of screens that you have. You're like, this guy can't be a professional day trader because he doesn't have a lot of screens. I'm here to tell you, for 10 years I sat with people with several millions of dollars, institutional investors that had day trading strategies, and I coached them on their day trading strategies. And I'm here to tell you the #1 indicator of who was a bad trader was the guy that had the most screens. You don't need a lot of screens. This isn't back in the day where you couldn't even do picture-in-picture. I'll show you right here. If I get rid of this chart, I got dozens and dozens of screens on one, charts and deals on one page. All right, we can do automatic trading now. We can do limit orders. We can do all kinds of stuff. So for the guys out there that spend a lot of money on making their desk setup look tight, I get that. That is cool. Everybody wants a cool desk setup. Maybe it'll get some, you know, the ladies that you bring back from the bar to be a little bit more inclined to date you. But the fact is it doesn't do anything. If you're coding, yes. If you're even doing account management within your company or whatever it is that you do for a living, yes, that makes sense. If you know, if you're in design, that makes sense. But for trading, I'm telling you, I got a whole bunch of screens just sitting on the corner over here. But I use iPad that's connected to not just Wi-Fi, but LTE. That's the way to do it. It can even be an old shitty iPad. I've got another iPad on this deal. Just move it around. I can turn it sideways. That's why I like it. Here we are doing it. And this screen is only for you guys. So all you need is a cell phone and a cell phone. So all you need is a cell phone. You know, I use a Mac just because screenshots and AirDrop is the easiest. Otherwise, I'd use a PC. I got these, you know, 4 or 5 screens here, but you don't even need these screens. The only thing that you need is a cell phone and a computer. And I like the iPad because it seems to work the fastest if I'm on the road or playing around, and it also has a keyboard. So that's what it is. I'm telling you, man, you guys are firing me up here. All right, let's keep the nuggets of information going. So the hypothesis right now is that there are more advancing stocks than declining stocks on the news. I have an obligation here, and I'm really excited to have it. One of my Steve out there is one of the folks who follow my channel. He's one of the OG original young bulls, and he has a question about a stock trade that he's got. He's got a combined basis. This is sick. I'm very jealous and envious of his trading on this one. So let's go here. I got Freeport McMoran. Hopefully that's coming up behind me. This is what my standard chart looks like. I got the Bollinger Bands on there. I've also got the exponential moving average at 50 and the EMA at 20. And I like to look at these over, right now this is about a year. Yeah, so this is a year chart. I think this is a good way to set up what your hypothesis on a stock is. But first, y'all know I'm a top-down guy. So from the top down, what is Freeport McMoran? It's a, they do energy services, they do materials, they do mining. They also are just super huge in the equipment space and really kind of fundamental to industrials and energy and utilities and mining. So I think that they're perfectly ripe right now. When I saw this, I kind of kicked myself a little bit because this is one of the main holdings that my former clients used to have, being a Houston guy and being, you know, dealing with a lot of the energy executives and utility executives out there, and materials executives. So I've seen this one a lot, and I used to, be basically tapped on the shoulder by my company to say, hey, get them out of that individual position and get them into this managed account. I don't have to do that shit anymore, so great trade. This is awesome. And Steve, you're crushing it. His question, he's got a basis of $7.70, and this is at what, 40, up to the second, it's at $42.37. He wants to know what a good exit price would be. Here's the deal on that. The beauty of all trading is that it's all trading right now is that you don't have to pay your broker, or you don't have to pay some fat cat sitting somewhere to put your orders in. So I would do the strategy on this is every single day. I would take a look at it, and not on the chart perspective, but the historical price perspective. And I would say the typical trading rule is 2 standard deviations away from the current price over a 1 year period of time. I'm not going to sit here and do the math on 2 standard deviations. I'm just going to say 12% from what it's at right now. Just throw a stop limit underneath it. Just put in a stop limit underneath it, or really just a stop limit underneath it, sell limit underneath it. And so if it's at 42, just quick math, 10 would be $4. So maybe $4 and what, 60 cents, right? That's 12%. Close enough if my math isn't that great on the fly like this. So yeah, I would throw the stop loss underneath it, and then slowly adjust that as the price climbs. That's how you do it. When it comes to specific prices, no worries. Again, this is in the materials and industrial space, and again, an energy space, so it's just crush city. Freaking great trade, man. Don't make this harder than it is. I appreciate you asking me the question. But this is a really great trade, and this is an LGR, AFG, LFG kind of trade. So good on you, dude. That's fantastic. That's Freeport McMoran. I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of Bollinger Bands, but this is an example where you could really learn a little bit on them. I don't know that you're going to be able to see this, so I don't want this to be a moot point, but we do see a lot of when you see more red candlesticks popping out of the Bollinger Band, that's when you're getting closer to needing a sell price established. That's more of what we would just call turning bearish, inflection point turning bearish. So if in the very corner of this, there is a big red candlestick popping out the top. At the top of that candlestick, from where the current price is, you could also throw a red. And for you, that is at 45.60. So either limit below and then sell it when it hits 45.60, or no limit below, just know the price and watch it constantly, and then put a sell limit above it at 45.60. Those are my thoughts on that. For all my other bulls, I get a lot of questions about books. I'm going to put a link to this at some point with Amazon and become an affiliate, because I sell a ton of their books by recommending these things. A great book right now for anybody that's considering learning options. This is a book that I learned while I was taking a CFA exam. I already knew everything there was to know about options, or so I thought. I've been doing this for years and consulting with people for years on how to trade. But in this case, going back to the basics was important. So if you've kind of dabbled in options, or you're not really sure, or you've learned the specifics, like on the Series 7 exam, or any of the ones that where you just have to learn the paperwork and not the actual use of it, this is a good bridge between just the simple math behind it and actually doing it. So this book is called All About Options. It's by a dude named Thomas McCaffrey. It has strategies like butterflies. It talks a little bit about like software that you can use. The most important thing about this, I think, is that it talks about the trade orders. Trade orders on options are really important, and understanding like the distribution flow. If you understand this, you can understand why Robinhood sucks. You can understand how many exchanges that there are, and really the science and mechanisms behind the trading. And All About Options, great book. We're going to end the day with a quote out of the Stock Trader's Almanac. And this quote is by Buffett. This is a Warren Buffett quote. He said this in an article on CNBC in 2010. And it is, "We will always live in an uncertain world. What is certain is that the U.S. will go forward over time." I don't know if that really applies, but it's cool to know that Warren Buffett is a super bull, and that actually reminds me of when I heard Will Danoff speak at a conference, who's another fund manager of the Fidelity Contra Fund. He said something very similar about, I'm going to get my lunch pail and go to work, so you do it too. Just get to it. I'll manage your money. You just go get to it. And I respect and admire both those guys. They're absolute studs. They're a little bit behind the times, and that's why I beat them in my professional portfolios that I sell on my website for you to follow along and paint by number. Ever Bullish One portfolio is all stock. Ever Bullish Dividend portfolio is a dividend and income portfolio, and it's up massively this year versus its benchmark. Most proud of the Ever Bullish Balanced portfolio, which is 50-50 in the middle, outperforming its index by over 3% with half the risk of the market against the very same benchmark. No reason not to do it. $75. If your parents have questions, if your friends have questions, if you're retired, you have questions, you can rock with this. It's a good guidepost. And it is 1/10 the cost of the average mutual fund. You own your positions. You're not stuck paying for the other people at the dinner table when it comes to redemptions. And you don't have to follow the dumb money in the market. You can own what you want to own. You can buy when you want to. You can get out when you want to. And you can also follow what the Sherpa does, because I am the stock Sherpa. I'm going to take you to the top of the mountain. That's the way it works. The plug is now over. Final thing about that is a bunch of stocks that I recommended last week. Let's take yesterday for trading today. Let's take a quick look, and I'll tell you which ones are still fireable and which ones aren't, and when to do it. And you guys all know 9:40 on Tuesdays is the best time to trade. It is science and it is art mixed together. It's basically superstition. It works for me. So we're going to go to Stockmaster. We got our Stockmaster here. Quick review of the market right at 9 o'clock at the open. SOS down a little bit, Riot down huge, QS up. You could fire on that one today if you wanted to. If you have any FOMO. GBC TC was up this right before I started this video at 8.36%. Now it's down 8. I'm glad we got out. If you watch my videos, I told you get out. You just captured a huge gain without the downside because you manage your own investments. You have agency. EOG is flat. MRO is flat. Those will be up this week. You can fire on those today if you want to. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Riot is up. That's a big surprise. A lot of bullish kind of ideals coming out here. Lulu is flat. S&P is down. NASDAQ is down. Dow Jones is down. I want to add one more in here. I'm going to add two more in here. ERX is in here. ERX is flat. We're going to do Q. It's like my app knows when I'm doing these videos and it just pops up with the ad every time I've got you guys here. We're going to do Goldman Sachs. I told you to buy. I still think that's a great buy. Goldman Sachs is down a little less than 1%, 7.78. FAS. All right, FAS is down too. I'm going to wait to fire on these tomorrow. You can fire on these today if you want to. And thank you for tuning in. I'm Chase. I am the Stock Sherpa on YouTube. I'm the first and only and best portfolio manager to manage portfolios directly to you. I do this because I don't believe in dogma or bureaucracy of investment firms. Come join the ride. Buy one of my portfolios if you'd like a starting place. Otherwise, keep tuning in. And Ever Bullish One podcast, YouTube channel, Chase at Ever Bullish. Ever Bullish website where all the information that I put up is available to you at all times. The Sherpas list is now out. Click on the Sherpas list if you want to see the stocks that I talked about and maybe a couple other ideas too. If you follow me on all social media, you'll be able to actually see the breakdown of when I buy and sell. So there's an added benefit to follow me on social media. I got the Facebook account rolling. I got the Twitter account rolling, which is Chase777. And then I have Ever Bullish on Instagram. Instagram is where I do most of the activity. So if you follow all three, you'll get when I'm buying and when I'm selling, what prices I got. Follow along, keep me honest. I'm giving you the information your broker won't give you. They don't care about you. And for every time you buy a mutual fund or a managed account, there's about 75 idiots standing around a coffee container, machine that you're paying for their salary. Plus, you got to pay for the bricks and mortar of the building. Plus, you got to pay for those big commercials with fancy green lines and red lines and blue lines, and big fancy bulls right outside the New York Stock Exchange. The investment industry has changed. Portfolio management is becoming a gig economy. Thank you for jumping on the train early. Thank you for believing in me. All my bulls out there, and I'm out. I'm getting rambly. LFG, AFG, LGR.